days with the county office to find out how far in advance it needs to be put in for them to be able to get it on the agenda, added to the agenda up to the week beforehand.
And most times when people raise their hands, they're not just like they're eliminating public participation. They're just trying to avoid the chaos that has occurred time and again at government.
Right. All right. Well, it'll be interesting to see how that works out. Just to give their opinion on something or to ask questions about something, just need to get in there a little bit in advance so the facts can be there for them. Commissioners are wasting their time. Also, I guess at the West, the way 4 of the 5 county commissioners looked at it.
Be discussed. Like I said, that's why they send out the commissioners the agendas, and if they have a question on the agenda, call their administrative manager, school superintendent, say, tell me what we're dealing with here, instead of just being blindsided by a topic they have no idea what.
Commissioners don't know all the day in, day out details. The big picture is a particular issue or particular subject we want to talk about. It's so far in advance so we can research it and have the answers for you when you get here.
They call it a part-time commissioners. It's a part-time job.
A part-time job.
They have jobs.
They don't have jobs.
Right.
All right. So that. No.
I just stay away from the recreation thing.
There were equipment and things at Hall Richardson.
I don't understand that conversation at all.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with it.
Is it money?
And you're allocated money for playground equipment. They just didn't allocate enough to purchase the equipment in the budget to come up with the equipment.
Okay, so as usual, it's always about the money.
And they're refurbishing the basketball courts has already been up. They're just trying to get their bid. Progress has been, if anybody's going to buy Hall Richardson Recreation Center, Recreation Center, in my opinion, they can.
Well, as you well know, to your act involved, something you never progress as fast enough.
But the race was just absurd.
Okay. So we had they talked about that, and also the other subject we talked about. Anything else that they highlighted?
I said the flip of money says, apparently in there, but so that's pretty much a done deal. I don't know what's taking so long for it to
Hey, put it on the back of a donkey and it's slowly coming this way.
The CPA says it's already in there.
Where's that check?
But both the county and the city, or the county and the school board could use that money. So
of course they sent out checks. They probably just like
but
we're going to transfer it from our bank to your bank with this press of this button right here.
Everybody talking. So where's the everybody knows what the figure is. The agreement's been reached. So where's the OC question?
I don't know. Look at all
must be 1%. I said it must be crawling from Atlanta here. Must get hung up with the construction.
Oh Lord.
It hasn't arrived.
It ain't here yet. Well, as you know, a little while ago, media day going on. The SEC, and the new coach for
the podium today. I'm very bombarded with all types of questions about the quarterback. Is Nick be ready? How about Michelle and the recent arrest? Not a good situation. Players continue to get in trouble up in Athens for
these kids. They got to learn. I mean, geez.
And Kirby's Central yesterday said he'll be suspended 2 games, but they're going to get him into alcohol rehabilitation. They said he's got a serious, going to seek treatment.
Okay.
That's the press release out of Athens yesterday.
All right. So is Devin going to be ready?
I don't know.
Okay.
He's put out the exercise video where he's on the treadmill running. But, people inside that are in the know are basically saying he probably wants, but he'll see some limited in that North Carolina.
Yeah.
But, with Sonny Michelle, they're talking about putting a cast on that arm, see how the backfield, that's going to be something I'm sure will be discussed today, where the field situation is. Where's he going to go if Chubb can't go and Michelle go? To Brendan Douglas bring in freshman, they're talking about Elijah Holyfield. A lot of people impressed with.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Is he good?
He's big, he's fast, he's strong.
Big, fast, and strong. Bigger, faster, stronger.
He's in a lot of attention in Athens.
He's a freshman?
He's a freshman.
Okay.
After
Holyfield.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
He was highly sought after by a lot of colleges, and Georgia was able to learn Athens that see him. He's a specimen.
He's a specimen.
He gets your attention.
He's a and he's just a back. He's not one of the linemen, These guys are so big. Did we lose one of our top players from Wayne County that moved across the border there to Pierce County and not going to be playing for Pierce County in Wayne County High School football?
We lost Pierce County.
2 to Pierce County. They just moved down that way. Family decided to move to Pierce County.
That's what I understand.
Yeah. Move across the border, play for another team. I wonder if the family county at the AAA, is it AAA or AA they play? I'm not sure which one it is. All right. but not during all season.
Florida, we got a linebacker from McIntosh. So,
Yeah, it's fair. People moving in and out.
It's fair for the goose. It's fair for the gander. Right?
Yeah.
Win and lose some.
Yeah. Well, if the family moves across to another county, then the family has to move though. The kids just can't move and go live with another relative, huh?
Some places have to have a status where you have to pay a certain fee.
Yeah. Well, we know.
Necessarily.
Okay. I just did a study that has ranked the fan base of the NFL's 30 teams, and they've had all kinds of fan base in terms of sold out stadiums, buying the whole thing. They did this whole study on who has the best fan base out there when it comes to NFL teams, and the top fan base is New England.
Is what?
New England. New England has the out there, according to the study by Emory University. The Patriots in first, excuse me, which is amazing because they haven't won squat hardly in the last several years. But Cowboys, Broncos, 49ers, Eagles is out there in the NFL with all the different qualifications and things they had to meet and what fan base that a certain team may have.
I disagree.
You disagree? According to the Emory University did a study.
Study's all wet.
The opposite end, 3 are the Kansas City Chiefs, Oakland Raiders, and coming in last, our very own Jacksonville Jaguars. In terms of all the different qualifications that the fans had to meet in terms of ranking it.
That's probably true. I mean, they can't even sell out their own stadium, so they definitely don't travel. The Steeler Nation, I think I don't see how the Steelers aren't in the top 2 or 3, so I disagree with that survey.
That's the thing about surveys. If you don't believe in the results, you just believe in them. It doesn't matter how they're done. It says your university School of Business measures teams' brand equity, broad defined from dollars spent, miles traveled, and social media assaulted by its fan base, and that's what moved New England into first place. Was its media.
It won't have nothing to do with the fact that they've won.
Well, sure it does. They're very, but it's in basic terms. If a team's fans spend more money than expected on the team right there goes down to that. Let's see here. There's a number. Let's see. The study addresses specifically the Pittsburgh Steelers, long known as the most rabid fan base in the NFL. The Steelers are an anomaly. The fact that the Steelers' ticket prices are low relative to the overall market actually hurt this particular mythology. In other words, the Steelers fans would probably pay more, thus move up in rankings if their ticket prices were higher than the average $84 a piece. So, isn't that it up there? Decides to make it affordable for fans to go to their games. The fans study here, it has to do with, like I said, how much money your fan base spends on your team, on their team. Right. But it always, as usual, Bob, comes down to the if a fan is willing to spend an average of $150 ticket to go to a NFL game in New England and only 80, they both be sold out, they consider that's more of a rabid fan base because they're willing to spend more money.
Just know if the Steelers go anywhere on the road, they have half the stadium full of fans. They travel pretty well.
The Steelers ownership makes it a conscious effort to underprice relative to what the market would allow. That many teams could profit from to raise prices. Don't let the owners know that. Prices in New England, they would be way on up there because of the prices that New England charges and because of the fact that they have more from their fan base than Pittsburgh. That's what puts them up there at number 1 over Pittsburgh and the other teams. They're tech savvy, which is the Bobby up there. We all know the cost of living is so much higher up there, so they make more money. Make about 3 times as much here in the state of Georgia if you wanted to move to New York to live up there at the same study. About 3 times much. Yeah, it's just so much more expensive. So, just wanted to run that by you there, Bob. But Jacksonville Jaguars, last place, Bob. Which is not surprising.
I think I've had a pretty good season. Blake Bortles had a good year last year. Got a lot going around him. Defense poured up, so I think Jack possibly win the division.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? it's been a long time since the Jacksonville Jaguars had that winning
competitive run.
winning there and beating Denver in Denver for in the playoffs, and Denver was a shock they had.
Because I like Gus Bradley. And I said he's one of the coaches that the Jaguars have had that seems like a personable, good guy. Del Rio, no personality. So
He's like a coach of personality.
yeah, I like a
Give some personality.
seems like he enjoys his job, and pretty optimistic. But Gus Bradley's a good coach, so I'm hoping for him. Hoping he's season.
Okay. Or anything else going on that you'd like to make a
Have 2 police officers suspended. That was interesting.
Yes, that's sad to hear.
It's not
Police
here.
here. And the Jessup Police Department.
Both with Jessup. The city has a work session today. Yeah, and they weren't able to reach agreement. They're going to have a discussion today on the solar power for the wastewater treatment plant. Also going to discuss LED street lighting. And there's the fireworks. There are complaints about how late people shot fireworks, but the new state law says that there's nothing they can do.
Wow, yeah, that's the way it was. I live in town, and midnight, 1 o'clock, it sounded like we're out there. Bam, boom, bam.
State law now. They like say they can sell them now in the state of Georgia, and people can fire them off. So I don't think there's anything to. But from talking to a couple of commissioners, talking to the mayor, they checked into it. Doesn't seem like there's anything you can do about state law. It supersedes it. As long as they're legal in the state of Georgia, you can fire them. Get ready for that annual edition on 4th. They were pretty loud.
Oh well, yeah, we both live in town. It doesn't matter where it goes off in the on that east side of town. You're going to hear it. Yeah, it was loud. It was very loud. Folks have texted in. They probably didn't hear your local news. A lot of people are not up at 7:10. Officers suspended.
One was arrested for DUI. One was arrested for stealing drugs from the hospital.
Okay.
So they've been suspended with pay. One without pay.
Okay. For DUI, allegedly stealing drugs from the hospital. Okay. So I guess more investigation will be done our way. Okay, so which are the questions the person who just texted in? Remember, you can always text with questions at 3711. Our main studio and business line is text enabled at 912-4. Looking at a picture there of trains, 2 passenger trains in Italy. So you had one passenger train going one way and one the other, and apparently they didn't know they were on the same track heading toward each other. They hit each other blast. There's squip. You just don't hear about that happening much, they know those kind of things.
I think the Republican National Convention gets underway today.
Is it Republican National
Convention? He announces this around about 3 or 4 people, but it'd be interesting. They say he's going to announce it before the convention, so time's running out, so it's showing up shortly.
Okay.
Very important decision.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Some of the names, in the short list there is people that you really didn't think of to begin with, like Newt Gingrich, the governor of Indiana. You'd think you would go with the governor of Ohio because you cannot win unless you have that state. You got to have that. Pennsylvania, one of the 3 of the 2 of them in Florida. Tell why they picked. When Bill Clinton ran his first time against the first Bush, that he picked Al Gore, which was another Southern person, just a couple of states over Arkansas. It wasn't like he picked somebody out. It looked like he just kind of picked somebody that he could somebody, but he didn't go to try to get a New England person, or he went with another Southern politician. So I don't know what Trump did.
Probably surprise everybody.
Yeah. All right, somebody just texted in, "Go Jags." Let's go Jags. We're all big Jags fans. We want Jags to win. And to do that, what does it take to fill up a stadium, Bob? Gotta win. Unless you're one of the old line teams forever, where the tickets are, wheeled down from one generation to the next. The Jaguars are still fairly a new NFL team, even though they're 21 years old in NFL years.
You better start selling tickets. Like I said, the committee basically stated and put them on notice that they don't start selling out the stadium, they won't be there much longer. They've been forewarned.
Don't move it to London. That's too far away.
That's what the committee wants to do. That's what the plans are. To put teams, across the globe. So that all plays out. That's what the story last year. They just basically looked at Mr. Collins and said, "You better start selling your seats out. If not,
Well, they covered up some sections up top. So those are considered virtual seats.
Sad they have to do that. I mean, it's just
Look at the NASCAR races. I was watching the Kentucky race this past week and other ones, and it used to sell out. But ever since the great recession of 2008, 2010, they haven't filled back up and going. And because big screen televisions, super sound systems, go to NASCAR.com and pay a certain amount and get every angle and everything. I mean, I think a lot of folks say, "Hey, why go when I can get a better experience here sitting on my couch?" And I don't know if it has in NASCAR.
Georgia, Florida have to bring in seats.
And Georgia, Florida, they have in seats.
So if not, I said they got major issues. So I said they just been on notice. Hopefully, good season. Hope they'll winning. Get a win.
Gotta win. Just win, baby. I was surprised that Oakland's was that far down, but bottom. And you always think of Oakland, you think they just got this rabid fan base, But it's one of the teams there's a movie somewhere, a stadium for them. So, it's all about the stadiums these days. Want a bigger and better facility, skyboxes, or luxury facilities. And as we've all seen at these stadiums, it's more just going and a game. I can swim. You got these party tents. You got the you can just have all you can just hang out over there. They got so much more you can do now than just sit there and seat and watch teams play football down the field, and let them stay later to participate in these other activities also to keep that revenue coming in. See that with the Braves and their new facility starting next April. What do you think? Do you think that's it? Of the fact that all these people, these owners want all these new facilities and football to play involved, so they get all these other activities on there in addition. More skybox, more luxury box. I mean, you talked about how you were when you went out to Dallas and saw that new stadium out there.
Yeah, the more comfortable it is to sit at home with TV.
That's true.
I used to say, no, go to the games.
These big screen televisions, and you got all the sound systems. And
the sad thing is just getting too expensive. It's just getting crazy. The Georgia, North Carolina tickets are just absurd.
But, if they sell out, they sell out.
They sold out.
Some people go, they want that experience. They want the feeling of the live crowd. They want to be a part of you. That's where people go. They don't have to go.